What's going on, everybody? I'm Keith, host of Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas, where 4 to 5 of my brothers give their perspective on national as well as local news. We touch on some trending hot topics as well as culturally relevant news. We also get a chance to dive into some deep core conversations. Check us out live every other Monday at 7 p.m. You can find us on Just Our Thoughts on YouTube live, as well as Just Our Thoughts fan page on Facebook. Also, please don't forget to follow us on IG, JOT with the Fellas.
What up, fellas?
What up? What up?
What up? What up? What's good?
Yo,
What's good,
yo,
fellas?
hey,
That beat.
Keith. What's up?
B? I said that beat was tough,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Big
man.
Will, he hit that beat. That beat. Shout out to Big Will for that introduction. I actually wanted to freestyle right there. Wanted to get another one in.
Hey, we got one. We had one going on backstage, man.
Nice
Yeah.
freestyle backstage, fellas. Hey, boy, you ain't give us no bars.
What's up? Nah,
You ain't give us no bars.
I usually don't. I usually don't. But yo, man, what was up with that post you put up last week with the paper towels versus decorative towels in the bathroom?
So last week the idea was so you know you go to somebody's house, right? And you know you use the restroom or whatever, and they have a decorative towel sometimes right next to the sink.
Right.
So the question is, y'all, we using those towels or we using paper towels, or the one that's just hanging up? And it looked like the crazy response was the decorative towels. And I was just saying who was going to be honest. Rob Tufnell was definitely honest when he said, man, F them towels. He going to use the paper towels. And some people was like, look, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people did say that those other towels, the decorative ones, were unsanitized and everybody uses them.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, if the person puts out paper towels or napkins or whatever,
right,
that's what you use. Right. Period.
Which one though?
That's why they put them out there.
The paper towels or the
paper towels, or if they put out napkins or whatever for you to dry your hands off. But
right,
if they don't put that out and they got that towel sitting there, that's your fair game.
It's fair game.
Fair game. And then I understand people talking about the germs. Oh, that's everybody. Germs are left on it. Well, didn't you just wash your hands?
That's a valid point.
They should be clean.
That's a valid point. So no one's germ should be on it if you really week.
Yeah, right. If you really washed your hands.
Last week,
water.
It's funny you said that. Last week I was in the mall and I watched this dude get suit on, walk right into the bathroom. So he went to the bathroom, went right down this long hall.
Right where you going.
Man, this dude went to the restroom. I went to the restroom, washing my hands. And the man law, that's already established. It was 3 of them. Right. There's only 2 of us. So the one in the middle. Furthest apart. Man, I'm drying my hands on the vent thing.
Yeah.
Man, I watched this dude just walk right on out the bathroom. I said, geez, who's gonna be the next one to shake this guy's hand, man?
Exactly.
Without washing his hands.
I see that, I swear I see that all the time on my job.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, come on, man. You just wiped your ass. You can't wash your hands.
Just shook your junk. That's what
right.
You
just and that too.
And
the funny thing about
you shaking his hand and you shaking his junk.
No.
Yo, with those decorative towel things, let me just chime in on that. I wash my hands. I don't want to use the decorative towels. I don't, because again, you don't know when the last time that they were used or washed or whatever. Right, so they got germs on them. So you just reinfecting your hands with the germs. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I learned from my grandfather, who is my idol, Daddy. EB. Dad used to always make sure he went in the bathroom with a napkin, a tissue, or a paper towel already in his pocket, because number one, you got to open the door, and that in itself, if somebody just shook their junk and is opening up the doorknob, or wipe their butt, again, you getting germ right there. But if you got a little piece of hand towel already in your pocket,
Right.
not only can you use that to dry your hands, the toilet tissue, that's gonna, if it's one ply, you ain't doing nothing. You just getting lint all over your hands.
That's going to disintegrate.
So
exactly.
If they're not using 2-ply, they're not doing nothing.
Nah,
you better have some 3.
Hey, listen,
double up that cottonelle.
My grandpa said, in an emergency, keep something in your pocket because you don't know what is in somebody's
back.
That is
true. That is true.
Gotcha. Here's my quick spin on that. I think that whoever has a decorative towel in the bathroom, for me, this is just my opinion. I think it's kind of like a unspoken rule that's just for like decorations.
Right.
I just think that the paper towels and the napkins is what everybody should be using. Now, here's the thing. Even though you do wash your hands, you're still not 100% germ free. Now, check it out. Let's just say you had some nice, greasy fried chicken that you just got finished eating. I like to talk about food.
I knew he was going.
You listen, you're not getting all that grease or all those nooks and crannies off of your hands. You know that. So if you use that towel, you're putting those germs that are left over on that towel. And then somebody comes behind you and they're doing the same thing.
Same thing. So, same greasy chicken.
Same, and even even eating an orange, man. You know how that orange scent still stays on your hand.
Yeah.
So that's my spot. Paper towel.
Paper towels, man. Good conversation. I was telling, I had shared a report. I said something to Ray. I said, well, if no one uses the towel and everyone thinks is dirty, no one uses it, then it's clean. You could be able to use it because no one is using it. You know what I mean? But you guys, like you say, you don't know how long it gets.
Hey, but you gotta distinguish decorative towel. Because some people put a regular towel in there and talk about, oh yeah, that's decoration. Nah, come on, man.
Just a white towel.
It's just a white towel. Or
that ain't no decoration.
That ain't no decoration towel. That Joe gotta have some doilies stitched to it or something.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode, another podcast with Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas. I am your host, Keith Hall. Want to thank everybody for joining us. I am your host, Keith Hall. Here we talk about national, local news. We talk about trending topics. We touch on core conversation on culturally relevant topics. And here today, I got the fellas with me because I can't do this by myself. I got the fellas. What's good, Wardy?
What's up?
Ward Heen is in the house.
It's all good. I'm back. I'm healthy.
Hey, Ward, man, we missed you, man.
Yeah,
hey, you know what, Ward? This is we technically did 2 episodes without you because the one we did with Dr. Kia, you were muted.
Oh yeah, I was muted most of it. So yeah. Me and EB was just like out.
I was muted.
Out left field.
Oh wow. Hey, what was that? That was actually a month ago. 2
yeah.
and 2.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah, that was a month. Good to have you back, man. Glad you healthy, man, and glad you up and going, man.
Thank you.
You know, gotta have the bum diddly D here with us. KD, what's up, Shakur?
What's going on, fellas? Happy holidays.
Hey, man. Happy holidays to you, man. How's everything?
It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
Okay. I feel you.
It's a song.
You got your New Jack City with you today, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still in that mode, man.
What better to have but black in Christmas? You know, they talk about I'm feeling a white Christmas.
You feeling the black?
We doing it black.
Yeah, we doing it black,
baby. We doing it black.
Man. What's up? That's what's up, man.
What's going on?
E Marvel, E Dub, Capital. What's good?
What's up, fellas? Man, I'm just getting ready, man. Getting my mind right for this Christmas shopping, man, that we are about to embark in, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Thanksgiving was here, man, and I like to eat, so I pretty much overindulged, fellas.
Yeah.
You already know, man. I had 3 plates, man, Thanksgiving night at my mom's. Then I had some more on Friday. So let's get ready, man. Let's get prepared, man. For this Christmas holiday season, brother.
Hey, E, what you're eating, man, because we all know your eating habit increases during this time frame.
Yes, sir.
Do you do anything in the gym different? Do you add? Okay.
I do.
So you do okay.
If I don't do it every day, every other day, man, I'm in there getting probably about 45 minutes of some cardio in. 30,
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
30
Good.
on the treadmill, and then I put some time on the bike or
Good
the
stuff.
electrical.
Good stuff.
So I am getting it in. I am getting it in, and plenty of water, brother.
Good.
I got you.
Good.
I got you.
Hey,
Yeah.
I went to my annual today.
So did I.
You did? Yeah. I went
2
to
weeks
my
ago.
annual.
Go ahead.
I went to mine today.
Okay.
Got my lab work I'll be taking tomorrow and scheduled the colonoscopy.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, man, because
48, brother. 48.
Yeah,
well,
mine is in March.
yeah, my
Mm-hmm.
look at INF. See, he trying to point out that his birthday coming up, man, soon. But he in May. But yeah, man, my doctor said the same thing, man. She said, as you getting older, she says, everything's good, but you gotta, schedule that colonoscopy.
Yeah.
So that's where I am, man.
Yeah. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
so we gotta
Let's
get
do
ready.
it,
We
man.
gotta get ready. We're getting older, man.
Let's
We
do
getting
it.
older, man. Yeah, nah, I'm with you, man. I'm glad fellas, man, is getting to the doctors, man. Y'all doing what you gotta do, man. Getting to the doctors, taking care of yourself. Is there any hesitation when you get up in there? You feel like there's gonna be some hesitation?
For me, no, because it needs to be done.
I got you.
I've been transparent on the show when I told y'all
Yeah,
I had a
yeah.
biopsy for my prostate and I had to go under,
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be a procedure like that. You got to go under.
Right.
At least I do.
Yeah.
But I believe it's going to be a quick procedure. Our homeboy Chris, he told me he went through it and it was painless.
Mhm.
Results came back good, so I'm expecting nothing but good news, man.
Yeah.
But it's
Same here.
Well,
it's a
we hope
necessary evil.
we hope it's
Yeah.
nothing but good.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same
Yeah,
here.
no, I
man.
believe it. I believe it already.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm not a big fan of going under, man. As you guys know, man, I got a little old injury, dislocated shoulder, which happened to me probably about 3 weeks ago. And it happened a few times, and each time I elected not to go under. And they were looking at me like this time, like, you don't want to go under, you don't want to go under. And I'm like, no, just do what you got to do. And it went, it was successful. They put it back in, and I'm good to go.
What they do? Throw you against the wall? Pull that?
No, man. Actually, it was a new doctor. He was fresh out of what, med school. He was working in the emergency room. I said, hey, listen, this is what they did last time. And he says, okay, well, I want to do a little something different. And everything worked out. Everything worked out well.
That's good.
For that colonoscopy, man, hey, listen, you got to go under. That's what I'm going to do, man. Like you said, Katie, our homeboy, Chris Allen, he went through it. So, everything is good.
Sean Smith, you better do
What's
it,
up?
brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's up, little bro? Hey, man. So y'all touched a little bit on EB. You touched a little bit on Christmas, man.
Yes, sir.
Holidays, man. How's everybody shopping coming along? Did y'all start decorating? Did you do anything? You got a lot more left to do. How y'all making out?
But all I'm doing is what I've done. I bought some LED bulbs that change colors and stuck them out in front of the house, and that's my decoration. That's it. I have not. I really haven't been festive about Christmas for a long time now. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. EB, I mean, I think we all got the trees up. I got my tree up, man. I love it. I love the tree lit. I like lights all around the house, inside. I got the Christmas candles in the windows, so I like it. It's really from a 9-year-old, but I love it, man. I love just having that tree right by the window with the blind open so people could see it lit up and blinking and stuff like that. So for the past 2 years, I went with the fake tree. You can put it right in the box. It's already got the lights on,
right.
and you can go
hang
back
that thing
down
up.
when it's time, plug it in.
Right.
I've always grown up with a real tree when I was young, but I'm tired of getting one, putting it on top of the caddy and taking them home. I mean, So it's convenient to have this Home Depot nice, beautiful tree that we decorate,
You
and
got to
it's
deal with them needles.
go.
Nah, yeah,
No
on
more
the floor.
needles. No more
Yeah.
needles, man.
Yeah.
Get them needles.
You
Yeah.
got to just make sure that thing is watered almost
What?
every
Yeah.
other day.
You got to
Or
put
you don't
you got to
have
put a pill in
dry.
there too, man. You got to put a Tylenol pill in that bottom too, man. Did you know that? That's-
Nah, what's the Tylenol pill for?
Hey, man,
Here
this
come
is-
EB's
No,
hacks.
listen.
Home
This is something
remedies for a Christmas tree.
Hey, listen. This is
Tylenol pill for E.
What you
hey,
need,
listen,
Bob?
man.
His
This
tree
is
be
something
having
that
heart attacks.
this this is something that Granny taught my mom, and my mom taught me. You got to keep it watered and throw a Tylenol pill in there. I mean,
What does
I
the
don't know.
pill do?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna ask her, man.
So
Is
you
that like with the flowers? You put an aspirin in it?
Listen, I don't know, man. That's what she always did, man. And
So,
I never
E,
questioned it.
this whole time you've been giving your tree an aspirin and don't know why.
No, I just thought that it was the best. Well, we had an artificial tree now for the past 8
got you.
years.
Oh, you've
But,
been feeding. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You ain't
previously-
put no Tylenol in that one, have you?
no, ain't no water in there.
That tree be having a headache. Like I need a Tylenol.
Hey, listen, y'all got me. Next time I'm talking to Mom, which will be later on, I'm going to ask her why
Please.
she always put.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
please.
gonna
She's
ask her.
enlightening us on that one.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I would
ask
love
her.
to know that.
All right, I'll get the answer for you.
Put it in the chat. Like, why you put a
Why you
Tylenol?
put the pill in there? I will.
Yeah, kind
It's
of
gonna be
pain in
something.
Christmas. I guess it's got pain from being cut, so you're trying to soothe it
Oh,
Only
man.
with
so
the-
that it can
Hey,
transition
they
into
do
your
say
home
you gotta
well.
treat the plants and everything like they
Right.
people. You gotta
Yeah,
talk to
you're right.
them.
You gotta
Yeah, I
talk
mean
to them.
they did that on Good Times. They was remember JJ talking to the plants.
But
Yeah,
that's
you
why
gotta
you put
show-
the water in the Christmas tree to make sure that it continues
It's-
to be alive and
right.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
gotta
And
show
sing
doesn't
to
dry
it.
out.
Oh,
You
Christmas
gotta show them love,
tree.
man. Show them love. Now, for me, man, for
Wait a minute, hold on.
Go ahead.
KD
What you got?
he was about to bust out a song. Y'all cut
Oh,
him off.
Christmas
Who?
tree.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Katie,
Christmas tree. How beautiful. No, okay. That's all I got. That's all I
We
got.
hear you. We hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, man, I'm getting ready, man, to I guess I'm gonna say start my shopping, man. I've always been a procrastinator and a INF. Me and INF, man, for years before that pandemic, we would be at the mall, man, on December the 23rd, running around trying to finish up that shopping.
Yo.
And I always liked, man, to be honest with you, man. I enjoyed that hustle and the bustle. It kind of made me feel like the Christmas spirit was here. But now, man, I can't do those lines.
It's hitting different.
With this pandemic. I can't do the lines. I hate the parking lots, man, and the congestion. I can't do it. So everybody, I'm gonna do a little bit of shopping, but a lot of people is gonna get some gift cards, man. That way you can buy whatever you want, man.
Yo, I don't know. For me, I got to do it methodically in my head, and I don't know why. So I keep a list every year of stuff that I want to get people that's in my circle, listening to them, write it down, put it in my phone,
Right.
And then like something happens where I just don't pick it up, and I'm meeting you on December 23rd because, like in my head, I just gotta organize it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand that. Like I got everything I want for KJ, Nia, and like everything, but I just hadn't got out there. But the crazy thing is I do want to get out there before those crowds, and I don't know if the crowd started yet because I can't do that. I start getting hot.
But my thing is, why are we spending a lot of time going out there when it gets delivered to your home?
I don't want to pay shipping and handling.
Actually, it's different.
No, I don't
it
pay for
feels
shipping
different.
and handling with Amazon Prime. No, and then when you buy a certain
everything
amount,
you can't get everything from.
But when you buy a certain amount, you get free shipping with a lot of things.
I got the Amazon Prime.
I'm confused why y'all.
At KD, I think I'm so used to going out, like getting dressed, going out, stopping, grabbing something to eat. But I didn't think about
too much.
But you can't always rely on Amazon Prime.
I can. It hasn't failed me. Target, Disney, Amazon, Walmart, but you got to do it. You got to do it in time. You can't order something December 23rd.
You know,
So you
I
got to
saw
know what
Well,
you trying to
I'm
get.
not saying as far as delivery time. I'm talking about like as far as merchandise. Sometimes you ain't getting what you paid for.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah. I got yo.
listen.
I
But
will.
it all depends on what you're ordering.
I
I
got a
mean,
9-year-old. Everything's
well, I mean,
Spider-Man
something
action
like that.
figures.
That's different.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but
you go and order a
you
Spider-Man
know,
action figure. That's
but
kind of
even
hard to
even
mess
with
up.
electronics, you ordering your kids a
Well, yeah,
tablet,
yeah.
a
I haven't had
PlayStation,
problems with
games
that.
like that. I mean, that's electronics, software, toys. I mean, that stuff just it
Yeah,
comes. You
yeah. All right,
you just
I
got to
agree.
watch out for the thieves that see your boxes on your
Yeah,
porch.
that too. Yeah.
I remember. I think it was it this summer. I went to an Indian wedding,
Hmm.
and I wanted to buy a top, and I was looking for tops, and I ended up just finding the top on Amazon,
A
Mhm.
top like a shirt.
like a shirt. Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
you
shirt.
like a blouse or something. Hey, you said a top.
So I ended up getting a shirt. So
Yeah, we
the,
wear
sh-
shirts.
the shirt that came in,
He said a top.
top, it goes on top.
A war.
I know
Said
it.
a top. What is it?
That,
It's not a
that,
top.
A
that is
blouse?
like synonymous with a blouse.
What in the world is a top? I'm like, what?
So I ended up getting the shirt, and so the shirt that came though, it didn't look like what I was
Right.
looking at on
Wait a
Amazon.
minute. Did you order? It was like, did you order it off a Wish?
Nah, I ordered off Amazon. It wasn't a Gordon Cartrell. It was
Right. It was
just
the
the design.
Amarada.
The
The itchy
design was
Amarada.
the design was ironed on. Like it
Ah.
wasn't stitched
See,
on.
that's what I'm
He
talking
ordered a
about.
TikTok shirt.
Hey, hey, listen, man. While y'all were talking about tops and blouses, man, I muted myself and I called my mom real quick.
All right, what she say?
I said, "Hey, mom, what does the pill do?" She says, "Well, it helps to keep everything perky." That's what she said, man.
Perky?
That's what she
Alright.
said. That's
Okay.
what Bob said. Perky.
So that's
So,
Mom Brenda. We're gonna let her have that.
so
Yep,
that's
perky.
that's what it is,
Keeps
man.
it perky.
Keeps it
It
perky.
keeps the needles
Keeps it
perky.
perky.
Let's add
That's
to
right.
it.
She
It
said
keeps
it
the
keeps it
needles
perky.
All right. I take her
It's
for
like
a word.
it's like food. It's like plant food.
There you go. All
There
right,
you
man.
go.
So what's up, man? Where we at, man?
So y'all
Talking
want to
about
go
two
into
tops.
Yeah,
Arlene,
I had to
Arlene
break
said
away
two.
from y'all talking
Look at
about
Arlene
tops and
comment.
blouses,
Two
man.
top.
Two
Look at
tops.
Rob. Rob said a top. What's a top?
Arlene
Look at
said,
Lena.
Arlene,
Lena said, all
Hey, look,
like a
hey,
top. Look,
hey,
I
Arlene.
know I'm
Hey,
right.
hey, Arlene, that's my girl right there. Arlene said, "Go ahead, Miss Brenda." What she say there? Miss Brenda is right.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's not a top though. It's a top. It's a shirt. It goes
It's a
up.
shirt. It's a shirt. We
Just
wear
like the
shirts.
Like a
So
We
button.
when
wear shirts, not not
Yeah.
so I'm gonna try to justify this. So when you ordering online, it says bottoms and tops.
No, I seen her say
Maybe
shirt.
maybe if you ordering some pajamas,
Yeah.
they might say tops and bottoms is some pajamas.
Yo,
But yo,
remember
you
Dave
got
Chappelle?
when you type it in, it comes up men's shirts or
Men's
men's
shirts.
apparel
Yeah.
or apparel.
Yo, he been
Oh,
eating
man.
pancakes with Prince. Blouses versus shirts. Blouses.
Blouses and top. What I know, what was it?
Y'all want to
Oh man,
let's keep this thing moving, man. Let's keep this moving. We want to thank everybody for joining us here on Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas. Everybody for chiming in. Thanks for spending some time with us. We just touched on paper towel versus decorative towels in the bathroom, as well as some Christmas shopping and what we're doing. And Kevin said that he definitely going to use Amazon to get some tops. But we're gonna move on to our we're gonna move on to let's move on to some trending topics. What we got? What we
Hey,
got
man.
first, man? We got
Let's start off with my main man, Chris Cuomo, man. Chris Cuomo, man.
what you got, man?
Listen, man. There's multiple moving parts and multiple layers to this story, man. So I'm going to try and maybe unravel a little bit of it, man. For those who don't know, prime time anchor Chris Cuomo, journalist extraordinaire, was fired
Mhm.
from from CNN. Now, all this stems from what happened with his brother, former governor Andrew Cuomo in New York. His brother was allegedly um, accused of committing sexual harassment to probably 11 or 12, maybe even more women in New York. So Chris Cuomo, basically, they said that he was doing some ghostwriting and, handcrafting. Yeah, and handcrafting some letters in responses to those allegations, man, that were against his brother, to pretty much help aid in what was going on with his brother. So I guess the question I pretty much have is, what would you do, fellas, or even our audience? What would you do to assist your siblings? What would you do to go to bat for them? Does it depend on what happened, or does it really determine, hey, listen, I got you, brother, or I got you, sister, or is it like, hey, you on your own? What's your take on it all?
I don't know too much about. I remember we talked about it briefly. I think towards the end of our first season, and some stuff was going on. I don't know all the details, but he was riding. He was riding hard for his brother.
Yes, he
I felt
was.
like he was riding hard for his brother, and in certain situations, man, I feel like you do gotta ride hard for your brother, your sister. Specifically depending on the relationship. You know what I mean? I may not ride that hard for a brother that I never met. Or sister that. But when it comes to um, that relationship that I got, man, I might have to ride hard for him.
Right.
And while I'm riding hard, cursing them out from some of the actions that they, while we in the getaway car, I'm cursing you out, but
Right.
I might have to ride hard for you, just to, let you know I got your back on that one.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel
Right.
you on that because um just like growing up, man, it was like me and my brothers, we always fought. And then my sister was like daddy's little girl, so never paid too much attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like when I got to high school and actually found that my one brother Robert, probably everybody know him as Lil Spank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the way he came to my aid changed my whole outlook on how you supposed to ride for your brother or sister.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So ever
Right.
since then, it's like, yo, something happened to my brothers, something happened to
Mm.
my sister. I'm there.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
got you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking as far as like if you murder somebody, I mean, we might not have to. I mean, that's a little different. I'm still gonna be with you. I'm still gonna
Mhm.
ride with you, but
Right.
it's like what Cuomo did.
Mm.
Yeah, man,
You got him. You
I'm
gonna
gonna
ride
have to
with
be
him?
like, nah, my brother ain't do that. Nah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
And
for me,
go ahead,
it,
Katie. I just wanted to just say something real
go
quick
ahead,
about
go ahead, and I'll hold it.
ghost writing. I don't foresee like a problem with that ghost writing, like kind of like behind the scenes. Chris Cuomo, he's actually a lawyer too,
Mhm.
so he probably has some of the legal language and jargon that he could put in there to
Right.
aid and assist him. So
Which
I
one is Chris? Chris is
Chris
the
Chris
Chris is
Cuomo is the one
CNN.
on
CNN.
CNN.
CNN. So
Okay.
for him to, help out with some of the wording, I guess I don't really see,
I
no
think it's
problem
deeper
with
than
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah. And
I think
not
it's
to
much.
take not to
What
take
that he
anything,
did more?
Yeah, I
but
think it's
that yeah,
deeper.
he probably did.
That
Not to
Chris did more?
Yeah, it
yeah, that
was.
he probably did more. That there's alluding to. Go ahead, Katie.
I think that there was much more digging that he did. Chris Cuomo's a incredible dude. Love to hear
Mm,
him talk. Love to hear him interview. I
Yeah,
mean,
mhm,
I think he is an incredible journalist and
journalist.
blog. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen him when he was covering some tropical storms, and he's out there with poncho on. So he's
right.
come from that to the booth, and he's been doing great. But I think where he's going far, and they're going to come out with some more information. I think what he was trying to do was really dig up dirt on the women that were
Mm,
accusing
Okay.
his brother
Okay. Okay.
in
got you.
in
Okay.
an effort
I'm
to
with him.
make them look not like a victim, but more like they had ulterior motives.
I got you.
You know, instead of, you know, in this movement that we're in, to believe what a woman, whatever a woman says about sexual misconduct, you have to really handle that with kid gloves and really, you know, strongly believe and defend and protect women in this climate that we're in. So I think that's where he went too far, too extreme. But when it comes to like what I would do for my siblings, I think in wanting to do and help my siblings, I think you got to still consider the risks. You know, I've got a job and I got a family that I've got to think of, you know, before I can say yes to a matter. I've got to give things, you
Some
know,
thought.
some thought, some consideration, because my decision affects my family. You know what I'm saying? It affects my spouse and my children and my home.
Yeah.
You know, so it depends on the situation. If my little sister needs a kidney, I'm definitely gonna go through the process to see if I'm a match for her. You know what I'm saying? But I want the doctor to tell me what the risks are for me. You know, am I going to be able to have a normal life? And, you know, would this potentially be something medically that can harm me later on, so I can make the best decision for myself? You know what I'm saying? But I'm a ride for my little sister. I'm gonna, if she's in trouble, you know, I'm gonna fight for her. I'm gonna advocate for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that.
Shout
You
out to
know,
Kimmy.
but you know, I've got to know what the risks are, because I'm 48 now. I can't just, you know, just jump and rashly do things, because it's not just me. I got to take other things and other people into consideration before I move like that. But when it comes to her, I'm not going to take too much time. You know what I'm saying? Because I know her. She's a good, you know, she's a good woman. She's a good mother. She's a hard worker. So I know anything that she gets involved in, you know, to that extent, it is going to be able to be defended and resolved by her brother with the help of her brother. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she ain't robbing no bank. She ain't scamming no credit card. She, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
Cuomo, I'm sure Cuomo said that about his brother too, that he's not doing, you know what I mean? In the
But you got to
but
think though,
everything
man, his
pointed,
position.
everything.
What you mean? What?
You like him being a journalist. So with him being a journalist, he's supposed to have an unbiased approach to everything.
That's a good point. And you're
You know,
supposed
so
to be
with
neutral.
him, so they were already, you know, he's already biased against his, you know, towards his brother anyway. So I mean, that's the
Rightfully so.
reason why. I mean, that's the
Rightfully so.
reason why I feel as though CNN was like, you got to go, because
Yeah.
for one, you know, you're now you're showing a bias at a job that you already have been claiming to be unbiased, and now you're showing a whole different side of yourself. Plus, and now you're siding with your brother, who is allegedly, you know, with the sexual harassment. And of course, like KD said, at this time, it's like, now if you don't defend a woman, you cancel.
But you know what, Wardy? They gave Chris time off from the network in order to advise his brother. They knew quite well. They knew quite well that he was
I didn't know that was
advising.
the reason why.
They knew quite well that he was advising his brother, so he came off the air while a lot of that was going on, because he couldn't you know, talk about it, report on it, because ethically, him being on the air and talking about something that's personal to him, ethically that's wrong. You know, because
but now CNN is
biased.
foul.
But the network gave him time off in order to advise his brother. But now they see the extent on which he went to try and salvage his brother's reputation, which was try to portray the women in a poor light.
So he kind of, so what they're saying is
CNN's at fault with this, because they gave him
dropped the ball.
They gave him permission, but then they're penalizing him for using his position to aid his brother. Like, to me, that's kind of, you know.
I think Chris Cuomo will. I mean, the type of journalist, the type of person he is, I think he'll be back. I'm not saying the CNN, but he'll be able
They
to build his
piling it
brand
on.
back.
They
Hey, well,
piling it
listen.
on. They
Guess what?
piling
Guess
it
what?
on right now, though.
Yeah.
Hey, listen here. Hey,
Sexual
KD, you're right.
misconduct.
Now he has Chris Cuomo, not his brother,
Now
but
his
the
brother.
anchor,
Talk about it.
the anchor, Chris Cuomo. He has now been accused of sexual misconduct
Oh
from
damn! I didn't know
something
that.
Wow.
Yes.
from
He's coming
something
to
that
that for that.
transpired
Piling
in
it on.
2005
See, that's
from his
crazy.
former boss from ABC. She said that he touched her booty from
At a party.
Would he
at
touch
a party. You saw that, Katie?
I saw
She
it,
said
yeah.
she
Yeah.
Would he
said he
touch
touched
me?
it. What'd you say, Keith?
He
What did he
touched her
touch?
rump shaker.
He touched the booty. He touched the booty at a going away party
Jeez.
in 2005. And now she's saying that, she wants to bring it to light. What's this? 16?
See that's
Yeah.
that
16
bullshit, man.
Yeah, 16 years later.
It took you 16 years to figure out that you didn't like him touching your butt.
2005.
I mean, really, think about it. 16 years ago, some dude touched your butt, and now you mad. That's just like, a girl coming from middle school to at one of us for doing what we used to do.
Yeah.
Whoa,
You know what I mean?
whoa.
No,
Middle
I'm
school.
not. I'm not saying.
Middle
Hold
school,
on.
man.
Let me
You taking me to Hatch
Let me
Middle.
clean.
Jeez.
Let me
I was just a
clarify.
kid. I was just
Let
a
me
kid.
clarify this.
Come on. I'm 40.
You know we was kids.
I was a kid
Grab
in
girls'
Hatch,
butt
brother.
when we was kids.
Jeez.
We did that when we was kids.
We're bringing
But-
up my past in middle school.
Hold up, your past. You ain't.
Jeez.
I wasn't
Man.
squeaky clean, but damn. But it's
Right.
like,
Oh man.
you know what I mean? It's like you wait all these years to say, oh man, I remember when he might not even grabbed it, he may have grazed it, and now you mad.
No, because he admitted to it, Ward.
Oh, he admitted to it.
To it. When it happened, she was his executive producer of a show. It was a going away party. When he did it, she brought it to the network and to the show. He wrote an apology letter to her and her husband.
Yep.
So he admitted to it.
Okay, that's
What made her bring it out now is that he made a comment after he came back from hiatus, defending his brother, saying that he strongly stands by women who have made these allegations. She brought it out because she felt like he was being hypocritical because of his actions back then. And she really didn't feel like his apology was credible or was honest, because at the time she felt like he was just trying to save his career.
I mean,
Here's
is
the-
she actually being, I mean, like, is that sincere? Because it's like, it always seems like when somebody gets in trouble, it's like, or is trying to do something, somebody that has no life is out there digging, going back and finding things to be like, you know what, we can get him on this, we can pile this on, so let's go back to this chick, give her a little bit of money. Not to say it always happens, because there's always exceptions, but it's like, yo, we're gonna, hey, remember when this happened?
Yeah.
How about we do something for you if you do something for us?
Yeah. At the end of the day, is you got to be mindful and careful what you what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of that stuff will come back.
And listen, to KD's point, KD had mentioned that Chris Cuomo had he admitted it. I saw a quote from back then that he had said to his former boss, and he said, "I can do this now. You're no longer my boss." So he did admit it.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's keep it moving. Another thing on Netflix, following George Floyd's murder, Netflix made a commitment to invest into Black financial institutions, and they kept their promise by donating $100 million, and they've been donating to national Black banks. So shout out to Netflix and their commitment to social justice, their commitment to our people, their commitment to highlight, and not just speak on it, but speak with their dollars, when it comes to Netflix and what they're doing. So shout out to Netflix. What else we got next, man?
Yo, I don't know if anybody watches the Tamron Hall show. I mean, I don't, but I kind of caught this little story. Last Thursday, I think it was Thursday. There's this woman, Lisa Wright. After 50 years, she was reunited with her birth mother. And come to find out, it was actress Lynn Moody.
Mhm.
Now, if I don't know if y'all don't remember Lynn Moody, she was she starred on the TV show That's My Mama. She starred in Roots, Knots Landing, a couple other things.
Mhm.
But it was like Moody at the time. She was 18 years old, unwed, and very conservative parents kind of forced her to get an abortion, to have an abortion. I mean, not an abortion, but to put her baby up for adoption. So they had a closed birth, which they covered her face during the birth and then whisked the baby away soon as it was born. And you know, growing up, Lisa, she used to watch the show That's My Mama, not realizing that she was actually watching her mother
Wow.
on TV.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So on the show, you know, they're reunited, and you know, Lynn Moody doesn't have any other children, so she was reunited with her only daughter.
Nice.
Wow.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is on the Tamron Hall show.
It was on the Tamron Hall show.
I mean that I don't mind watching the Tamron Hall show. I definitely don't mind watching that one.
Hey, INF, that's your cousin?
Nah, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not.
Stop looking at it. Might be.
I definitely hope she ain't my cousin. Hey, in another story, we got we talked about it some time ago, maybe back in March. Kirk Franklin, he popped up again, and we talked about it back in March, where his son, he and his son, they had some disagreement, and his son taped him. I don't know if y'all remember that. His son taped him and put it out on social media, you know, and Kirk Franklin had some words to say to his son. And Kirk Franklin continues to say that he continued to publicly turn the other cheek when it comes to the tension between him and his estranged son. They've been in a very painful place for years. We further pressed about the status of his and Carrion's relationship. Franklin revealed he has not been in communication with his son. I just still have the responsibility to cover and not reveal the life of my son. He continued, I have 2 sons and 2 daughters. I love all my children, and I'm that kind of daddy too. Like I'm that kind of daddy that'll love, and I'm that kind of daddy that'll break your neck. So that was his latest comments when it comes to his son. So, you know, Kirk Franklin, no love lost.
Yeah.
You know, he still continued to love his son, but from afar. But, you know, I thought that was still interesting, in how, you know, social media, you know, is still.
And I feel him wholeheartedly on that one.
Yeah.
That was my dad.
I can definitely respect the fact that he will say that he and his son has been in a painful place for years.
Mm-hmm.
That alone speaks volumes. You know, he has that adult son that he had that issue with. You know, so he's not going to publicly put his son out there and talk about the demons that he's going through.
Right,
but to hear him say that him and his son has been in a painful place for many years, this happens to fathers and sons. It happens to fathers and sons that don't have good relationships. It happens to fathers and sons that do have good relationships. Right. For some reason, the relationship can go sour and go awry because of many different factors. So it's I'm not saying it's refreshing to hear, but it's very good to know that someone of his status can relate to situations such as being in painful relationships with the child that you have, you know, that you have bore on earth, you know. So it happens to the best of us, you know. So, you know, I just pray that it gets better.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. What we got, man? What we got coming up, man? KD, this you?
Yeah. Michigan?
No.
Will.
KD what? Big Will? Oh, Big Will. Big Will.
Smith.
Big Willie.
Yeah, so Big Will has his memoir out called Will, and I'm recommending that, you know, a lot of people grab it, the audio or the book itself. And Will takes a really deep dive into himself and a lot of his experiences. One excerpt that he was talking about on his rounds was that during the height of his career, he was having sexual relationships with a lot of different women. And it came to a point where, um, as he was having sex with a lot of different women, night in and night out, he just started developing a what he called a psychosomatic reaction to all of these unhealthy sexual relationships, and he began just vomiting and throwing up, um, either right at the end or immediately after or during. He just started to vomit and throw up,
Mm.
and a lot of people, I was seeing that they didn't take too kind to Will kind of talking about, his reaction to the sexual relationships that he was having by vomiting and things like that. But, he was trying to show that these were just some unhealthy and very poisonous relationships that he was having to fill a void, an emptiness that was in his life at the time. That
Did he
not
say where
even
the
his,
throwing up was coming from?
huh?
Did he say like why he was throwing up?
Well, it was a reaction to
To the
these
climax.
Yeah.
empty and non-meaningful relationships that he was having.
Mm.
Which makes a
You know
lot of
that
sense, really.
that was his response to it.
Makes
Mm.
sense. But
I
to me,
mean,
it's
if
TMI.
but if you eat a lot of candy, if you eat too much stuff that's not good for you, it's going to come out one way or another.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
why I'm saying it
so
makes sense.
yeah. So, he brought that out. A lot of people, kind of was saying that is too much information to share. But a lot of us can relate to that because there's been some things that we've overindulged in life
Mm.
that
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been good for us and has made
Mm-hmm.
us sick to our very core. And
Mm.
we had to come to a point where we say enough is enough.
That's
And I
enough.
think that's the point that Will was trying to bring out. Enough is enough. I've
Mm-hmm.
got to have a transformative moment from having these non-meaningful relationships with women. Though it might be physically pleasurable, the end result is that there's no connection, no depth. It's only making me sick. And I think we can all kind of relate to that overindulgence in life.
Got you.
What's your thoughts?
I would personally, before for me, I would have to, and is interesting. Tamika mentions this. I would have to hear it myself in its full context before I give that, in terms of not why he did it, but his transparency in doing so.
Mm.
Hmm.
Um, I definitely agree that we all have, especially knowing y'all, man. We've all gotten to some things, and you know
Mm-hmm.
that we shouldn't have been involved in, and
Mm.
it's gonna somehow come out. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I never vomited. Um, I never vomited.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
never vomited. But I could certainly say, like, we I've been in some stuff that I hadn't had any business being into. Wasn't raised, to be in certain situations, and um that's just my take.
Right.
But as you get older, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Um
I think that I had read something earlier today that Will Smith was he was speaking with his intimacy coach, right? And her name is Boehm, Shelly Bow. And he said that she helped him to essentially clean out his mind. Those are his words, to clean out his mind. So I'm wondering, when we think about some of the things that he said or some of the things that he's writing about, if he's clearing out his mind, he's just exposing everything. Some of us might look at it as TMI, but he may be looking at it like, okay, wow, these are some things that I really need to get off my chest for me to feel better about myself mentally, and emotionally. So, I'm not sure if that's a correlation, but that's what I got out of it.
I think people get to a point where it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, Will could be at that point where it doesn't matter if it's TMI for the audience.
Right.
It may not be for him. It may be, a healing experience for him to be able to get, and that's the way it's coming out.
Right.
For us, I saw something, I don't know if it was yesterday, but one guy was just talking about, it was just TMI and keeping stuff to yourself. And, that's one of the things I want to, just run by y'all. What is too much, for social media?
Right.
When is it too much?
I felt as though that was too much, but that's too much for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, dude, I really didn't need to know that. But here's the thing. It's like, if it helped him to write it down and to express it to the world, that's him. That's his prerogative.
Right.
If it healed him, hey, good, so be it. And there's people out there that they just want to, find out about, certain, celebrities or whatever.
Right.
They're out there looking for that. Maybe they're looking for something that if they say something that may help heal them, so be it. I mean, I'm not going to knock that, not one bit, but I mean, just as for me, I just don't need it personally. That's all.
And I think that's the good that's the good and a beautiful thing about, when it comes to us and our choices and our decisions. You can decide to buy the book,
right,
or decide
walk right by it.
Yeah, walk right by it. I think that's the beautiful thing that God has given us when it comes to our uniqueness, is that you have a choice. Do I digest and do I see what's going on with Will, or get a better understanding, or do I just keep scrolling, or do I just keep walking by what's going on? But what's too much for you, EB, when it comes to transparency? You're not on social media though.
No, I'm not. I thought about getting on quite a few times,
You're
but
better off, brother.
Yeah, it really, like you said, Ward, depends on who I'm speaking to, man.
Yeah.
They'll let me know, hey, don't get on. Somebody else may say,
yo,
hey,
you need to get on. You need to get on.
Yeah, you need to get on. You need to get on. So,
Yeah.
I still, I've been weighing my options, and so I'm electing to just kind of
remember, that's your choice, brother.
Right.
Yo, you stupid. The crazy thing though, like I look at my page, and whether it's Instagram, whether it's social media, whether it's Facebook, or Instagram, and like everybody I follow is because I want to. Everybody, you know what I mean? So what comes up on my feed, especially now with the algorithm, is things that I'm usually looking at. You know what I'm saying? Things that, I check out, things that just continue to come up. And I'll be honest with you, and I don't have a lot of nonsense on my page. People fighting, people doing this and people doing that, like shooting people. I don't have that because that's not what I want to see. And it was my decision to be friends with this individual. And I have a lot of, I'm sure y'all do too. I have a lot of inspirational stuff from people that I know that's always posting inspirational stuff, pushing, motivating people. And I think you had it says a lot about who your
circle, your friendship,
who you connected with. So, when it comes to being transparent, certain things that I won't let out. You know what I'm saying? And that's a definitely a no. But I'm okay with letting some thoughts and some ideas, because I'm not the only one that's thinking that. You know what I mean? So that's
I was thinking about that today, how just like you and KD's pages. Like if I ever looked at your two pages clean, every once in a while you put something up about, you might put up KJ and Nia, whatever, or he'll put up his the kids, spin class.
Right.
You know what I mean? So nothing, I've never ever seen anything negative, nothing I could ever say, you know what, that's a little bit too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's so it all depends on the person. With the, especially with the TMI. It's just like when I look down my feed, Unfortunately, there's a lot of sneakers.
But that's what you like, though.
That's what I like.
You
I
know what I
look
mean?
at sneaks.
Right.
So
Can you put Lena Lane's quote back up there?
Which
The
one? I think
last
it
one.
depends.
I think it depends on what it is and the intention behind posting stuff.
Mm.
Is it
Mhm.
attention seeking or genuine sharing?
Wow.
Beautiful.
And
That's what's up.
I kind of lean into that
Good
real
quote,
heavy,
sis.
because a lot of people will post some difficult social issues that's
Mhm.
going on in the world, and they're not ready for that conversation.
Right.
Mm.
That is
They're
true.
just not there. They'll post it and they'll stand by it, but they're not
Mm.
really ready for a mature intellectual conversation that can talk about whatever points that they have, but do it in a way
Mm.
that's respectful
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
and won't burn bridges or create enemies
Mm.
and become hostile. So
Right.
it is, and we don't know the motivation that a person has by sharing on social media. Sometimes we can come to the conclusion that, oh,
Right.
that dude or that female, they need attention. They just
Yeah. Yeah.
need
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because we know them from wanting attention too.
yeah,
Right.
Right.
we know, certain ones, but again, that's making the assumption,
Right.
because we can't really genuinely 100% say that this is their motivation, but
Mhm.
you can say that they're not ready for the conversation when you either don't see any comments pertaining to the post, or you
Mm.
see a lot of very immature, very primitive
Response.
Right.
takes on the
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, if
That's
you're
why
going
I
to do
walk on
something,
by.
if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to comment, if it's not for you,
Walk on
keep
by.
on walking. But
Yep.
if it's something that you want to engage in, that you
Mm.
have something to offer, I
Then
want,
jump
Mhm.
if
in.
I post something, I want you to offer to it. If you don't
Mm.
have anything to offer to it,
Keep it
then
moving.
don't even comment.
Right.
Look at it, do your research, think about it. But if you have nothing viable to offer, it only inflames other
Right.
people
Right.
when you just put out there that, you know this makes no sense.
But you
you
know
know
what, KD?
Add to the conversation.
But you know what? It's like, you put that out there, and I'm not saying this is you, but the people that do post stuff like that, they got to remember you put it out there, so expect people to come back. So don't get mad when people
Yeah,
comment on you.
right, but at the stage we're all in, my
Right.
expectation is that you come with some healthy dialogue, nuggets of
True.
information
True.
and jewels. Give me pearls of wisdom that can add and accentuate it, and instead of just throwing mud at me, because the Bible says, don't give your pearls the swine.
Mm.
Okay. I don't want pigs, I want pearls. You know what I'm saying? And if I put something out there, it's not because I'm the you know the master of information on it. There's so many different parts and moving pieces to a topic that we can all add to it, to enlighten one another,
Right.
instead of saying,
Yeah, but granted,
whatever.
I
I ain't,
understand
I
you
ain't
want
beat for your
pearls.
post.
I understand you want pearls, which, yeah, it would be nice that we could have a nice, good conversation, a nice, and I wouldn't say, maybe a debate,
Right.
but you can't always, we're not picking and choosing who comments. So, there's always going to be somebody on the left
There's
coming in.
Yeah.
always
So
going to
we
be
just,
someone
yeah, there's always going to be
opposite my
someone.
view. That's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
given.
Yeah.
Not just
But
opposite, but somebody who did like way out there. And like you said, it's like, yo, wait a minute.
yeah,
We supposed to be talking about the post,
yeah.
not something different. You bringing up some other
I
stuff.
think it's
But
my fault, because I think I might have too high expectations
no,
for
not
the
really.
people. Yeah. For some of the people that I'm friending on social media. My
Yeah.
high expectations is that we will have thoughtful conversation and dialogue,
Mhm.
not really anything abased or low level. You know, my high expectations and standards is that we really gonna, delve into it, get some really good insight about it, and not no elementary stuff or
It's
things that will just inflame the
it's
situation.
interesting you say that. When I think about my expectations with social media, I think about
Mm,
the average person, which is me, and those like me, and I think about most people are checking in, just
Mm-hmm.
seeing what's going on. They scrolling while they waiting for something, and they making a comment. They out there in a debate, a sports debate, or
Mhm.
whatever. And I feel like sometimes I look at social media as it's just a break throughout your day for a moment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is a laugh right here. This is a
Mhm.
laugh right here. Oh wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know this. This is informational because I don't have the TV on. Something just happened in Michigan.
Mhm.
So these is comments that's going on, and now I'm getting some more information about it. I'll be back in. I might jump back in on a little bit later when I get home and I get settled. So
Right.
sometimes I don't know if I have that high level of expectation when it comes to social media. I think I expect what's provided, which is laughter, which is
Mm-hmm.
inspiration, motivation, and I think I do expect
It's
some
entertainment to me most of the
yeah
time.
entertainment and some good points and good conversation.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, I didn't look
yeah,
at this
yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
way. And I
Uh,
and I think that those are my expectations when it comes to social media. So
You know,
That's
uh,
it.
I run it with no expectations.
yeah.
Whenever I turn on, it's like you're going to see good, you're going to see bad, you're going to see indifferent, you're going to see
Mhm.
left, you're going to see right. It's just like, all right, let me go on and just see what's what.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Now there has been many a time where I've
Mhm.
seen a conversation where I typed out something, you're like, you know what? Nah, I just erased it and
What's
just
the
kept it
point?
moving. Yeah, like sometimes it's like, what's the point of
Doesn't matter.
even
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter, is
It
either
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter or it's like,
Yeah,
what's the point?
yeah.
Because so many are on this one page. It's like, you know what? No time, I don't need to stir this pot. I'll stir a pot now, but I'm not gonna
Right.
stir this
We
pot.
know you will, Ward. We know you will. We see that part.
Hey,
Stirring
Cat Page
the hell
brought
out
up
of
a
that
good
part.
point, man. She brought up a point. Cat Page brought up a good point, man, about the timeline. I think she mentioned something earlier on about like having a timeline. So you said there you go. What's my timeline?
Mm-hmm.
mm,
And
I feel
unfriending.
her on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I've definitely unfollowed some people because of some
Yeah.
some
I
of their
had to.
content.
I had to delete some, some people I was related to,
Yeah.
Yep,
some
Wow.
exactly.
people that
Yeah,
I've
me
known
too.
for a long
Really?
time
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it was inappropriate. Every
Yeah.
time
That's
I
deep.
opened
That's
up,
deep right
I
there,
saw
man.
the stories, I would see
Some
something
nonsense.
inappropriate,
Yeah.
and I'm not beat for that. Every time I open up, I see you in an inappropriate pic of you, and
Yeah.
these, some of this is family, some of these
Yeah,
are
you want to see your
people I've
family
Yeah.
known
like that.
for a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not something I wanna. I'm not entertained by it. It's not informative. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's really just, it makes me want to vomit like Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I've went as far as to unfollow, but not. I didn't delete them, but
You
I
ever
did
It's
blocked
called
unfollow.
anybody?
it's called
Oh
unfriending.
hell yeah,
Unfriending. I mean,
I
not
never blocked
delete.
anybody.
You
oh
can't
yeah,
delete.
I'll block
You
somebody.
I'll unfriend them, not delete or block.
I've
I'll
never
block.
Unfriending
blocked anybody.
is sufficient.
Hmm.
We was
Yeah.
messing around the other day, and my daughter said, she was surprised that I never blocked anybody. I was like, I don't need to. I don't think I have any beef with anybody. I don't
Mhm.
care. You follow me, whatever you don't like,
Mhm.
unfriend me, and if we're not, friends no more, hey, I just hit the button, but I never felt the need to
Yeah.
block anybody.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
things that I grew up in, I'm a church boy, so I grew up in church. And one of the most transparent moments in the black church was testimony service.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And testimony service, you'll hear everything that God has done for an individual, from paying a light bill to
Hmm.
healing from a major disease,
Right. Right.
from, doing so many supernatural, miraculous things
Hmm.
for an individual or their family. That was a really transparent time for other people to hear some of the successes that you have had in your
Hmm.
everyday life. you know, and churches have gotten away from testimony service altogether. I don't, you know, I ain't been to a church where there's been testimony service in a long
got preach.
time.
Now you gotta watch
You
that on
know,
TV with Peter
so
Popoff.
listen, you know, you got fake prophets out there, so don't believe everything on TV. Don't buy the water, don't buy the cloth.
Oh man, come on, man! I can't buy the water.
So sure you can. Let me know if it helps you. Let me know if it changes your life.
I got something going on with my shoulder. I wonder if it
yeah.
Spill it on there.
What's that? The spiritual water, man.
Yeah, the holy water.
Because
You
I
get the
got
little packet. You get a packet about that big. Talk about it's going to heal your life.
The
Hey, well, I don't know. Was you giving us a testimony on that water?
But the transparency of testimony service was something that, you know, allow other people to hear your experience and how you were able to overcome a certain obstacle in your life.
Like
you know, and while social media hasn't really been used like that by a lot of people, I think that, you know, that's where my flow kind of goes to. You know, I want to hear some of these stories that will encourage and inspire me, some of these posts that will kind of sharpen me, help me do some research. That's what I'm looking for, you know, and that's the expectation I have from other people that might comment on certain posts that I might put up, you know, to inspire me, you know, to motivate me, you know, to kind of open my mind to some different experiences that can enlighten me to do some different things in life. So you know, that I think that transparency is a good moment, because while it might be too much information for one individual, it might be helping another one in some other part of the world.
Very true.
Yeah. I remember my old pastor said he said he didn't say transparency, but I look at it as transparency is good. It could be good for the soul, but bad for other people watching and bad for, you know, the listeners, you know, and so it's, you know, you just got to be mindful to, you know, to let certain things out. You know what I mean? Just be mindful of what you sharing. You know
who your audience is.
Yeah, definitely know who
your definitely.
Audience is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Know your audience.
That's some good stuff, man. Good stuff from that transparency right there. I'm trying to pull something up.
Yeah.
Definitely some good stuff, man.
What we got?
I think Katie wanted to
Katie's up on Michigan.
Yeah, Katie wanted to share a little bit with us when it comes to when it came to Michigan.
Yeah, it wasn't too long, but you know, we know that last week, I believe it was 15-year-old Ethan Crumpley opened fire in a school hallway, shooting 11 people, killing 4 people. And his parents were recently arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter as well, after they was found hiding in an art gallery. The one component of this is that the school saw the 15-year-old in the classroom drawing pictures of gunfire, killing individuals with a laughing emoji. You know, he had been seen in class Googling for ammunition. And, you know, so this was a pattern of behavior that he had been exhibited. The parents were notified in the past, but they hadn't really done anything to ensure that he was not going to carry out what he did. They even went as far as buying him and purchasing him a firearm for a 15-year-old. So the day that he had drew the picture of shooting an individual, the school notified the school counselors. They notified the parents. The parents refused to take him home and get him a mental health evaluation, which is critical in these types of instances. And they sent him back to class. And when he went back to class, that's when he opened fire. No one checked his backpack. No one called law enforcement or took this serious. And, you know, no one really firmly encouraged for this child to leave on this day and get the mental health evaluation that he needed. My only issue in all of this is just the racial disparity in this, because if this was a black kid in a black school in a black community,
Come on.
making this type of threat in the school, it would have been taken serious. Not only would child protective services have been called, law enforcement would have been called, that family's home would have been searched for a weapon. That child would not have been able to return unless he
Right.
had a mental health screen at a crisis center. I know this for a fact because of what I do in the community, that all of these measures would have been taking place. So there's a lot of liability and responsibility that falls on the school, and also that falls on the parents who are arrested for involuntary manslaughter because they provided. Elena's right, that kid probably wouldn't even be alive. But for the most part, if I've seen them, images of 6-year-old black kids put in handcuffs for misbehaving in the school.
Yep.
So when you get a white kid, 15 years old, making these threats and the school not doing enough via law enforcement or mental health services, or mandating that the parents take him out of school, the school also had the right to search his backpack, which they failed to do. So there's a lot of liability and responsibility. But my main thing was just the racial disparity about all of this, because again, if this was an African American kid in a black community in a black school, they would have called every service under the sun to ensure that number one, that this kid would have no access to hurt anybody, but also make sure that the school and the students were safe. So it just shows that the white community still, there's still a lot of disparity in how they respond and react to
Just
these
like
type of
Lena
circumstances.
said, like the inner city schools, all of them got metal detectors. None in the suburban schools. Like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? Where these shootings are actually taking place, they don't have any metal detectors. They don't have any of these things implemented in their programs. But yet, the inner city schools, they're having the active shooter drills and things like that, metal detectors, everything, all all new systems being put in place.
And
As far as
I want you to
security.
watch. I want you to watch in the next few days of how they characterize the 15-year-old
Oh, they
as an
already started
individual,
it.
as a child that needs help, that was crying
They
out for
already
help,
started.
that was desperate for help. When if it was a black kid in a black school in a black neighborhood, they would
Mugshot, and
already
that's
pulled
it.
up his juvenile record,
Yep.
talked about the instances of suspensions and detentions and everything like that, to make him or her look like a villain that needs to be tried as an adult. So
Right. Yeah, because like in the mornings, I listen to Russ Parr, and he
mhm,
brought up that exact same point. He was saying how he said, "Look at them; they're already putting up pictures of him, like in a praying, him trying to make him look as a child to be a victim. Like if it was one of us, it was first thing is they want to see what, like you said, what type of criminal activity we had, what type of criminal activity our parents have been in, siblings. They just try to criminalize us, victimize them, and that's their agenda.
sure. Yeah. So I just want to bring that point up real quick. That's all I got.
It's funny. I did hear something about them arresting the parents, but they didn't arrest the people harboring the parents because they said something about them being they didn't know that they were harboring.
But when he found out about, it was an art gallery, and the owner of the art gallery where they were hiding, he said as soon as he saw the news, he did contact authorities.
He did. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably why they said they weren't going to be charged at all.
Yeah. So that's all I got on that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's a different state. What are the laws in that state? That is the problem. Yeah, one of the problems is in Michigan is that I don't believe that they have there's certain gun laws that they don't have like they have here in New Jersey.
Well, here's the thing.
Especially when it pertains to
if the parents bought it,
the access.
Doesn't matter. Because the parents are over 18. They're legally
but they gave
can
him
buy
access.
It.
They gave him
Yes,
access to the
but
gun.
that's anyway.
That's why
You
they're
can
charged
give a
with
child
involuntary
access.
manslaughter.
Right, I understand that, but
Yeah.
they talk, they want to bring up laws about guns and kids. Well, if the parents go out and buy a gun, and they give their kids access, that's fine. People do it all the time.
No, that's not fine.
What do you mean that's not?
No. You cannot. You cannot. Michigan and New Jersey, you cannot have firearms accessible to children. You
Why
cannot.
not? If I did have a son, I can't take my son to the firing range and let him shoot the gun.
That's different, Ward. You just said access. Now you bring up a specific circumstance. If you go to the range,
I understand.
If you go to the range, because in New Jersey, the only place that you can carry your weapon is to the range and back home in a locked box or in the trunk of your car. Now, if you give access to a teenager at the range, that's different from having them get access where it's freely on the table, or they can put it in their backpack. They bought the gun specifically for the kid to have, and thereby that's criminality in itself.
Well, I mean, well, here's the thing. I really don't want to get too much into it, but if I bought a gun, I bought it for my child to go shoot. That's giving them access to the gun.
But once you come home, it has to be locked away.
Oh, I understand it.
It cannot be access for that child to go in there, put it in a book bag, go to the school, and be able to kill people.
No, but that you're right. It that comes down to the parents.
What's it? But that
but it comes,
that's
it
why
comes down to the parents.
It comes
right.
Down to the parents.
Yeah, you're right. It should be locked up.
It should be right now. Yeah.
Oh man, dope conversation. Going over. Y'all want to hit these segments, man? Y'all want to hit these segments?
Yeah, we can
hit these segments. All right. We want to thank everybody for checking this out. We got some segments we want to touch on. We had some conversation on Kirk Franklin as well as Chris Cuomo, and having some conversation on transparency. How much do you support your siblings or those that you love, and how far you'll go with them? So if you can, go back and you just chiming in, go back and have a conversation with us and watch. You can definitely hit replays and let us know that you are watching, or you can go to our streaming services on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, Amazon Radio. We're also on Spotify. Check out a lot of our content. In the past, we had some amazing, crazy guests on our podcast. So check out our streaming services. We're going to hit some of these our segments and keep it moving.
Shopping bags, they way down her arm.
Man law. Today's man law title is Just Let It Go. If you are over the age of 40 and you are still dyeing your hair, beard, and or mustache jet black, it's time to let it go. It just don't look right.
It don't look right.
It don't look right.
Hey.
Now, I'm not saying, putting a little bit of color, taking some of the gray out. I'm talking about the dudes that go get that jet black
when they get it sprayed,
where it look like paste. Putting that on there, making your own hairline.
When you sweat, it start coming off.
When you sweat, you look like Giuliani running down your face.
That ain't the right
man,
type.
Let it go. We get older, man. Embrace your age and let the gray come through. Because you could already see, they went crazy over my man Ron Isley and his gray.
They did.
What I mean?
They did, Ward.
You know what I mean? And then you seeing all these chicks posting these pictures of dudes, they got gray hair.
They got gray hair.
You know what I mean?
What you say?
Get older now. We got
their own hairlines.
Oh man, I know you. I know you see some of these dudes with them painted on hairlines,
Look at that.
them painted beards from
Look
like
at
they
that right
can't
there.
they can't grow this,
You
so
see
they
mine
got
right
it
here?
all
They
painted.
make a
Look at
line.
that. INF, look at that, yo.
You see mine, KD?
I see yours, yo.
I
Hey,
see
listen.
yours too, bro.
Hey, listen,
Uh,
I ain't gonna put my chin up there because mine a little dark.
Yours a little dark. Oh man,
Good stuff, Ward. Good stuff,
good
Ward.
stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Let's hit this, man. Ask.
Ask the professor. The professor.
oh man.
Shakur.
Yo.
Ask.
That's the
That's
professor.
the professor. What's
All
up,
right.
KD? What you got for
Yeah, I
us?
got a question. I was waiting for INF to send me something, but no, I don't want it now because it's too late. I already
No,
got
listen.
one. Don't go looking for nothing
I got
because
it.
I already have one, huh?
You got it right here.
I got
Yeah,
one.
but you ain't sent it to
Right
him.
here.
Yeah, I mean
I sent it to him.
he wants me to, I can do that. I can be impromptu. That's no problem. But I gave
Well,
you
let's
an
do it.
opportunity.
You gave me an opportunity. It's over.
I did. So, question from the holidays. Is it okay to cut family and friends to get yourself together? Is it okay to cut family and friends to get yourself together? Snip, snip. All right. Y'all ready? Let's jump in this.
Like
Go
my
ahead.
Go ahead.
like
Yeah.
my
Run
man
it.
Murder Mook says easy.
All right. So we all heard that this slang about cutting you off, right? Y'all hear that all the time. I'm gonna cut them off.
Cut them off.
It cuts you off, disconnecting from you for whatever reason. So the question is it okay? And the thing is that you are allowed to do whatever you feel is best for you at any given time. That is your free will. You can do, let me say it again, you can do and make the best decision that you need to for your life.
Say it again for the people in the back.
In the back of the room, if you want to make a move that you feel is in the best interest of self, then you can do that. All right. But the question is it going to be in the long term? Is it going to be the best thing for you to do for yourself and for your family or friends that you are having some type of issue with? So what I wonder, INF as a mental health therapist, what I wonder is what's going on in your family or with your friends that's triggering you to hope to achieve something from cutting them off. Let's explore that.
So I think,
let me say that again. Wait a minute, mental health therapist.
Tell your neighbor.
So tell your neighbor, neighbor. Let's explore before you want to just cut off and disconnect and completely disassociate yourself from. Let's first explore what are the triggers that is encouraging you to cut them off. All right. Is that safe to do for number one, INF?
I would like to say that peace, since we in church, peace is so important, and I think we underestimate what peace means and what peace looks like. Oftentimes our families have a open door to our lives and to our decisions and our choices, and if not careful, you often let them in, and sometimes it ruffles your life. So with that ruffling your life, I think what we do is by saying that, instead of saying, I think we phrase it wrong by saying I'm cutting them off, versus I need some time
Okay.
Mm.
to get things together.
You're going too deep now. I want you to stay with the point
What do you want
here.
me to say, bro?
I want you to stay with
With the
number
cutting
one.
off.
Is it okay for me to first, before disassociating, what
Mm-hmm.
an individual needs to do first is to explore the reasons why they feel like they need to cut them off? Because it could be for reasons that we could effectively resolve. Some
Mhm.
people want to cut you off for reasons that can be resolved.
Mm.
All right. But
So,
you won't put the effort or the energy in trying to resolve them. All
mhm,
right. So
mhm,
there's degrees.
mhm.
Okay. There's degrees to what we need to disassociate from a person. It might be something minuscule versus something that is very
Absolutely,
valid for me to do.
absolutely.
Am I
Mhm.
correct?
Right,
All
absolutely.
right. So the exploration of the reasons, okay, that needs to happen first. What say y'all?
Mm.
What 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 if the reason? What if
Mm-hmm.
the weight and the level of the necessity in which they need to cut off is so heavy that that part on the family doesn't matter, and it's not that much of a priority for them, because on the other side for them it's heavy, and
Okay.
they have to move and make a decision
Mhm.
and protect themselves. Like I
Right.
think Lisa wrote something, protect themselves, put themselves in the best position
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
they
Okay.
can continue to move.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the balancing isn't important
Mm-hmm.
because this weighs much more on their heart and on their life. You know what I'm
Okay.
Mhm.
saying? So I
Okay.
think
Right.
it's important that a decision is made, and if that is my family, and we didn't get to the cutting off part,
Mm-hmm.
but I think us moving to the I got to get this right first, and I got to find my
Right.
peace, whether
I'm
my
gonna sit
peace
and take a
is,
break.
yeah, my piece is in my relationship, my piece is financial, my piece is my career, finding
Mhm.
that peace in those areas.
Mhm.
My piece
Okay.
could be my kids.
Right.
Then I think that them prioritizing, and the only one would know is them. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Mhm.
But go ahead.
So now, okay, so now we talked about the levels of it.
Hmm.
Something light versus something that is very valid and heavy that we need to, essentially move towards cutting off. But like you said, I think we use cutting off wrong.
Right.
All
Mm.
right. There's a word, EB, that we learned a long time ago called healthy boundaries, right?
Come on now.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think that's
Mm-hmm.
the term that we can use here is
Mm.
having healthy boundaries because
Uh-huh.
like INF said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
we allow people to have too much access to
Right.
us,
Mhm.
Yes.
right? We allow, and even if it's family, even if it's close friends, we
Mm-hmm.
can't let everyone have so much accessibility to us
Mm.
because it does what, INF? It disturbs your
Peace.
peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
Mhm.
Okay. So instead of shutting down, okay, that's that cutting off behavior. We shut down, we avoid. Okay, there's an elephant in the room and
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
you're shutting down from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to discuss it. You don't, however, let's reframe this and look at it in this perspective. Begin to put the healthy boundaries in place around the people that may be distracting you too much, maybe a little bit too much toxic for your life.
Mm.
Establish those boundaries where they don't have as much access to you
Mm-hmm.
until you are ready to possibly move towards reconciliation or discussion of the issue. Y'all
I
feel me?
think
So
I think we
the
I think
shutting
we
off,
also,
go ahead.
Katie, I also think we have to allow or understand that an individual may not
Mhm,
know how to create a healthy boundary with someone that has been in their life for such a long time,
mhm,
with, and not just a mom but family members. They don't know how to, and the weight of whatever is on that other side is so
mhm.
pressing
Yeah.
that they may not be able to learn how to create healthy boundary or take the
Mhm.
time to talk about this is what I'm doing
Right.
Mhm.
versus urgently and going to handle whatever business that they need to handle. I
Right.
think, being, understanding that that may not be able to happen. You know what I'm saying?
But it
In terms,
can.
it,
It can.
it
It
can
can.
in certain situations.
Right,
Right.
right.
And I think one way that you can learn this is that you have to look at how it is disrupting your life,
How the
right?
family,
How this issue, whatever it
Mhm.
is, the reasons why you want to cut it off, how this person is disrupting your life.
right?
If it's disrupting your routine, your schedule, your employment, what things is it really disrupting and interfering with? Your
Mm,
your if you start to see yourself begin to kind of disintegrate
mm,
or in certain areas of your life or not have the time that you need to do things for your immediate family or yourself,
Absolutely.
these are the things that you got to look at as signs and red flags that is disrupting your life to the point where you cannot even effectively manage your own personal
Right.
issues.
Right.
Therefore you need to start establishing some boundaries, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe I don't see them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe I don't talk to them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. And stick to my plan and my schedule on the things that I need to do for self,
Hmm.
right?
I agree.
Okay. Because, and then you may have to begin to involve other people to begin to help because sometimes it takes a toll on us because we're constantly giving and we're caring and we're
Hmm.
trying to fix and resolve. It's too much for us. And we got to feel like, listen, I'm not the only one that can provide for their
mm,
need.
Right.
Okay,
mm.
let me begin to pull in and draw in these other individuals that know how and should be here. Okay,
So,
that
so,
That
so,
village.
means
Let me pull in
that
that village.
you got to pull in the village. That
and
means you
some,
got to open lines of communication to say, look, you've been neglectful. You
Mm,
need to offer time and attention to this matter because I cannot. Say
so,
no.
so, so,
Everybody
so
here, say no with me. And no, say no. Come on, just say no.
A lot of
Come on,
people can't say no, and that's
say
the
it with
thing.
me. It's very
and that's
easy.
what
Two
that's what I
words.
was going to say.
A
I
lot
was
No.
of
going to
people
say
can't
that
say
a
no.
lot of people can't say no. They can't exercise their voice where it's time to say no. It's a fulfilling thing where I have to be there for this person,
Sure.
despite whatever's going on in my life.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That, I'm going to drop this because you need me or you saying you need me, and it does something for me to fulfill your need. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it gives me this type of satisfaction because
Yeah.
now I'm wanted and someone
Yeah.
needs me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
So we're
Versus
talking about someone different now. This person wants to develop a way to shut down, cut off people.
right,
Okay? So
Hmm.
we're dealing with someone that can't say no. This person is pretty much here at the precipice of
mm.
wanting to say no, wanting
What's
to
that word,
establish
KD?
healthy.
I don't
The
mean to cut you off.
precipice is PRECIPICE at
Yeah,
the
I was
very
about to say spell that
precipice.
shit.
I did. I was spelling B champion
I
back
know,
in
I
there.
know, I know.
Okay.
Nice,
At the
nice.
very precipice of wanting to say no and also wanting to establish healthy boundaries. They're using the wrong language and the wrong mindset by
right.
saying cut off, but they need to know no. You need to
So
Right.
establish these
so
boundaries
so
that can be helpful.
so think of someone that's in a burning building, right? You think of someone that's in a burning building. It's a 3-story home, and the house has caught on fire.
Mhm.
The and there's someone in there. Their response isn't going to be stop, drop, and roll. Their response is going to be get the hell out of here. And it's similar to the person that's in this situation where the weight of their life is killing them right now. And I got to get out of this burning building.
Mhm.
I'm not thinking of creating healthy boundaries. I'm thinking of I got to cut everybody off, including my family. They're phrasing it different or wrong, but I got to get out of this burning building
Mhm.
to to create some type of um easier weight and that I can breathe. Because we're talking about someone when they're in the burning building and the weight of the world is on their shoulders, they
Yeah.
can't breathe.
Yeah. So
They
so
can't breathe and they're gasping for air.
right.
So I have to be able to breathe and I can't focus on
Yeah.
anyone else,
Right.
even the one that I love in this moment.
So
So it's
here's what the professor is saying to that is that you got to have a plan of evacuation. All
mhm,
right. Everyone that has a home should have a plan of evacuation. How am I going to get out in case of emergency? And I want you to apply this to your life as well. You got to have a plan to get to safety because that's ultimately what you're trying to do when you are trying to get out of a burning building. You have designated areas to go to, all right, in order to get out. How are we going to get out? You got to have a plan of escape, all right? And that's what every individual that is struggling right now with difficult family members or friends that are pretty much burning their house down. You now have to put together a plan to evacuate that, or you will disintegrate and dissolve. Your hopes, your dreams, your life, your ambitions, and your goals are going to be consumed with all of these triggers that you receive from family and friends.
right,
So you
right,
got to have a plan, and your
yeah,
plan is to get to a safe space, and that
right.
comes with developing healthy boundaries. I need to get far away from the fire as I possibly can so that I can save my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Good stuff right there. You see Cat Page's
Self-preservation.
comments.
Yeah, no, comments was flowing, man. We appreciate
Yeah.
everybody for
Don't
doing
panic.
this.
But it's
You
just
can't
like
panic in
but
the
you got
midst
to
of a fire.
remember, if I mean, if these people that you're putting up boundaries against, if they're truly your family, truly
Right,
your friends,
right,
they'll
right.
respect them
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they'll know when the boundaries drop.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with you that if that relationship is there, and it kind of goes back to what Kevin had said was talking to your family and letting them know look, this is what I want to do. I want to create a healthy boundary. At the same time, if that's not done, I feel like after you're able to come up and gasp for some air, um, that you're able to have a conversation with your family and let them know, look, it wasn't really about cutting you guys off. It was more so about finding me and finding my
Right.
peace and
Hmm.
being able to be afloat and put this fire out, that's tearing down my house. So I think that's certainly a great part of it too, in creating those healthy boundaries. So, and also, learning how to create healthy boundaries. Sometimes I see things and I'm, that we find it, we think is a healthy boundary, but it's tearing us up
Hmm.
and it's creating negative habits. And we could go on and on and on with that. But good stuff, man. Ask the professor.
That's the professor.
Ask the professor, man. Good stuff, man. Fellas, we got anything else?
Nah.
No,
No,
that's
we
it, good
good. we
brothers.
Yeah.
we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Again, check us out. Just our thoughts with the fellas. We will be back. I want to say December 20th. We got a great conversation scheduled on December 20th. So join us on December 20th here live on Facebook, our Facebook page, on
Hmm.
our YouTube page. Check us out. Go to our streaming service to share. Do us a favor, those that's watching, those that join us. We got nothing but love for y'all, and we thank you for just being a part of what we do and adding to our content. So, if you can share this with others, when you at work, share it with others, tell everybody about our podcast, that you're a big part of it, and that you guys continue to motivate and inspire us to come back every so often, every couple of weeks. So we appreciate you. Thank you. This is just our thoughts with the fellas. Peace. Go
Hey.
Cowboys.
Peace.
Whoa.